is Chloe. I'm one of the Pencilish interns this semester, and this is me trying to pin down some concept designs for an alien character named NooBee. So with this, I started out by doing a bunch of different sketches and just trying to get out some ideas and figure out exactly what we want him to look like, because with him being an alien, he could really be anything, there's nothing real to base him off of compared to oh, he's a dog, then he's got to look like a dog. So with the alien, I spent the first couple weeks doing just a whole ton of sketches of all different sorts and shapes. The general idea was for him, he was supposed to feel kind of young, kind of toddler proportions almost, but other than that, he's an alien, and that's really all I had. So after I did a couple passes of a bunch of sketches and ideas, Tom told me his favorites, and so in this video I'm going through, there's two of them. There's this guy here with kind of the pointier head, and then there's the other guy with the really round head, and they both have similar proportions and bodies in their little spacesuit. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to I was trying to make the design feel a little more fleshed out and not just a single drawing. So some of the stuff I was looking at for inspiration, I was looking at some of the Sanrio characters, Hello Kitty and that sort of thing, and so that's where I kind of got the inspiration for the eyes to be a little more unique than just the initial sketch that were very round, and now they're kind of almost like square round, where they're not perfectly round, but they're rounded, and I liked how that looked with his face. And so I just did some brief color ideas for him from the initial sketch, and then I went on to kind of get some more kind of finalization of this other guy, the second option, and I ended up really liking him, but spoiler alert, the first one with the pointier head is the one that we're going with. But with this little guy here, I was trying to, because I had the initial sketch and I liked it, but it didn't feel. I was honestly kind of surprised that Tom said he liked that one, because I didn't think it was one of the strongest. But then when I kind of worked with it, I think that having the mouth lower, I really ended up liking that. I felt like it added I think he's cute. I think it added a lot to his little face. And so when I was drawing on top of him to try and figure out his front view, and I feel like having, and you'll see me do this later when I start doing the turnaround, but putting them on top of each other can kind of help me think about the overall volume of the shapes and how I want it to look from the different angles while being able to see it on top of the other. And then especially with the first guy, he has such a unique head shape, so I had always kind of thought of him from a 3/4 angle, but then when it was time to do him heads on, I had to figure out, okay, so I know what this looks like from one angle, but in my, if I try to turn him in my brain, I hadn't really thought about that, so I had to make sure I was thinking, three-dimensionally, get the full shape in there. And so for both of them, I gave them little poses and tried to. One thing that I struggled with both of them was their legs are both so short, and I think the short legs are cute, but then when it comes to actually moving around and doing poses, there's only so much you can do with a super short leg before it feels too off model. And so that's one thing I think will be a bit of a challenge just with both of them as characters. And then when I went through and colored them here, what I realized, and I came back here, I deleted all the off-whites from the first NooBee suit, because I realized I think I like it as just a pure white, because the idea for NooBee is that he's simpler and the backgrounds are going to be very simple and there's not a lot of color. So having the pure white suit or whatever means that if there's not a colored background, you don't really have to color him in, or it's just white. It's not as complex. But anyway, so here I am moving on to the lineup, because I've taken my finished NooBee design that Tom looked at, and he said, I like that one more, and so we went with that. and I'm going over the sketches I did and just like taking a little more time, giving them a little more care, and really thinking through, making sure I'm getting those shapes and like the angles of everything right to feel how I think he should feel as a character. And so here I am doing where I put the one on top of the other and kind of think about it more like animation. Like if I were to turn him, does it feel right? I'm kind of like, adjusting his front view, because his front view is a tricky view when he has such a distinct head shape from the 3/4 view. Like, it's less distinct from the front, but that's how it would work, I think, in my brain when I turn him around in my brain. So then I move along. I'm doing a profile view now, and I take kind of the 3/4 view head, but then like, I figure if it looks like that from the 3/4, it's got to be a little more extreme from the side since it looks so normal from the front. So just doing that on top of him, getting all of the everything level, all the eyes the same size. Then with this back 3/4 view, I had a bit of a struggle trying to figure out exactly how that was going to work, because one thing you can do is you can take your front 3/4 view and then you can flip it and erase everything on the inside, and that's your back 3/4 view, and you just got to fill it in. But for some reason my brain just couldn't think that way with this character, so I went ahead and made a back view, and then I took the profile view, and then I just pretended I was in betweening it, like animation, so that I could figure out how the 3/4 back view would work, because I was having a tough time with that. You can see I'm using the silhouette I made again. I don't really know if that helped me, but I ended up getting a 3/4 view that I think looks right. So once I kind of get the overall sketch, I get the lines in just to make sure everything's lining up. Because I drew them on top of each other, it was already lining up pretty well, but just like small things to adjust. Like you can see the middle one, his antenna things are like a little taller than the line there, but that's like something I go back and like I check through as I clean it up. So here I am cleaning up the orthographic. I feel like the sketches feel pretty solid, but they're still, if you look at some of the legs, like they're not all quite touching the bottom line. But just cleaning them up, I felt like helped affirm for myself that like, yeah, that's where the line is. That's how that shape works. It's how I want them to look. It's not much to say about lining it, but I'm kind of correcting some shapes, figuring out how I want. Like one of the things I was kind of questioning is like with the middle pose, like his front view, the angle as his torso goes into his legs is a very smooth curve, whereas the side view, I give him like a bit of a belly and stuff, so there's like a harsher angle there. And I was trying to figure out, does that make sense? Is that how it would look with the side view being such a smooth line? But I think that it does. I think it works. That's why this is you're seeing it now, because I think it works. But going through, his little hands, I gave him the little alien. He's got the 2 fingers and a thumb. I felt like I did that hand for both NooBee passes, because I felt like that just helped him feel more like an alien than like anything else that I did, was giving him the little stereotypical alien hand. Yeah, so just going through, doing cleanup, drawing the same line 5 times in a row, and once we get to the end of cleanup, I'm going to color him in, and we ended up going with the yellow NooBee, because you saw earlier, I had, for like when I was kind of like pinning down the designs, I did a couple color ideas. Oh, here I am messing with the foot. I realized that I didn't have that quite right, and then I put the back on top of the front, and I was like, oh no, that's not lining up. So I had some revisions I had to do there, but then I got it feeling right. Yeah, that was my NooBee turnaround.
If you like what you just saw, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, Pencilish Studios.